Anno Domini, Famiglia Tombacco, the Tobacco family. This winery is 40 hectares, so medium size, pretty organic all the way, which is, you know, quite a thing because it's like fully organically certified, and it's been built on 47 after Christ. We are near the Piave River, and I don't know, like once again is the idea to go find out about a wine that somehow was born 2,000 years ago. Shall we give it a shot? Hey. I like immediately the very generous combination of sage flower, ginger, candied ginger, and a little bit of white flowers, like spring flowers. I just forgot to put the wine in the fridge, so this is comes straight from the cellar. So like it's maybe 4-6 degrees more than what it should be. But you know, the good thing about it is that the wine is holding up. It's holding up with mature fruit, some almond, you know, like that kind of like bitter toasted almond in the end, and a vegetal note that makes your mouth feel quite dry and clean in the end. I think it's a pretty good wine, a food companion for sure. With this bitterness, I think it's calling for some sweeter combination, like I think pasta fagioli, pasta fazoi. Here would be perfect because you know how lentils and beans have got that kind of like sweetness to it, and together with this, Villa Mattielli. I feel like I need a car here. You know why? Because Roberta and Giacomo, well, in this case it's Giacomo Roncolato, the owners. Giacomo used to be a racer, like he was driving really fast machines, fast cars, and you can tell when you meet him, he's like an unusual winemaker. The winery kicked off like in 2009, so it's, I would say kind of like, I wouldn't say brand new, but quite brand new. Where are we? We are on the eastern side of the kind of like the Valpolicella area, going towards Soave. So like one of those regions where people have been making wine forever, but yet young. Let's see if we can find some sprint in this Pinot Grigio. Whoa! What should you expect from Villa Mattielli Pinot Grigio? Lots of flowers, jasmines and roses, really strong on the flower character, but not only that. There's a super kind of like aromatic vein in this Pinot Grigio that in a way is like, what else could you remind me of? Like Sauvignon Blanc, like, you know, that when I talk about the kind of like kiwi, like tropical elements together with the green, kind of like cat grass, that's the nose of this Pinot. So pretty strongly aromatic. Same again on the palate. So crunchy, refreshing. There's some more limes and lemons on the palate than it was on the nose. Then again, there is this oiliness. It's like if I had a little bit of a rose syrup almost that I just drank here. So Pinot Grigio, as you guys know by now, does have some spiciness to it. Sometimes comes up like these floral and spices together. So that's it, Villa Mattielli for you guys. Enotria Tellus Viaggio. El viaggio. The trip, the journey. This is a Pinot Grigio de Venezia Spumante. Enotria Tellus is the winery, brand new winery that was born in 2016, guys. But actually is really older than that because Beppi, Giacomo, and Fabio. Beppi is the founder. Today is the third generation. Fabio has studied enology in one of Italy's most important wine schools. There you go. Check it out. It's a party. I love that sound, don't you? So what's the blend here? It's Pinot Grigio. Remember, Pinot Grigio can also be spumante. In this case, it's a beautiful label, and there is non-vintage, pas dosé. Oh, quite a whiff. Oh my lord. So, green apples. This is like distilled green apples with a dash of, what is this? It's like some vanilla, but not the vanilla, you know, the aroma vanilla. It's the vanilla stick that I love. There's something else there. There is always that little bit of a white pepper and a spicy innuendo. Can you see that? Very voluminous. The mousse is quite smooth and round. It feels, the first 10 seconds you feel like it's sweet, sparkling, but actually, on second thoughts, my mouth now is turning dry, very dry, with the almond finish, the lime, lemon peel. So I would say that it is really dry, like as in a good way. This is a non-residual sugar kind of wine, so you can enjoy as an aperitivo even, you know, like, or with some fatter food, like, of course, you know, I think I've said it a few times here, but the frittura mista is one of the things that I love the most, and I'll be so jolly happy to have it with this wine. Some salmon, smoked salmon. I think the wine is gonna be able to cope with it. You know, some little nibbles like cod, kind of like, I love that fish too, a little bit fat with this wine is gonna be good. So one last thing about this winery that makes it like different is 100% of clean energy coming from photovoltaic and other, like, it's totally clean. Tenute Salvaterra. The family name is Furia, and these guys own quite a few vineyards around Veneto region. The headquarter, it's around the hills of Valpolicella with a beautiful prune stone. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's this calcareous stone where you can just like work it out and you can make like caves and castles, and it's quite a unique thing to see. I invite you to go check it out because it's really worth it. And by the way, you can eat like a king over there. By the color, the wine looks a little bit older than your usual Pinot Grigio because it's a little bit darker. You know, it's to be honest, I thought I was gonna be like, you know, man, like this is, it says 2017 on the label. I'm like, man, that's not gonna be good. I have to put the best of me to talk about this wine. Instead, I get this smoky butteriness, like butter on toast. Some quince marmalade on top. But at the same time, there is a minerality, like a licorice stick. You know what, guys? This is a bit unusual, I have to say, in terms of expectations, because here there is lots of creaminess, good acidity that comes through, a slightly bitter finish. You know, that toastiness in the wine is coming through again now, which is part of the game. But this is one of those wines that you crack it open and there is way more body than expectations would be. So grilled fish for sure. You can go for some heavier sauces when you make your pasta. In this case, I'd love right now with this one here, you know what I would love is like some chicken, like the legs, like roasted and then glazed. I think this is gonna be perfect. Galli is a winery that you can find in the Venetian area. So once again, imagine the Alps, like the bottom end of the Alps, of course, and the Adriatic Sea. Buzziol Elide, what a name! Elide is a pretty rare name, and the soil in this case is on the clay-ish and limestone base. So I'm expecting a Pinot Grigio with a little bit of structure here. A winery that was born in 1980, 60 hectares, lots of aromatics on the nose, so pretty aromatic, pretty floral. I get this like pine tree sap and white peach and a tropical touch. You know, spot on Pinot Gris with spiciness, a little bit of this I wouldn't say, of course, not tannic, but just spicy and slightly oiliness, like when you like almond oil, right? Like that kind of like nutty oiliness. In fact, walnuts right at the end, with a dialogue with a floral touch. This for me is a wine that is good to go with some of that sweeter kind of food to counterbalance. The palate is pretty dry, so there's no residual sugar, and I think actually I have quite a clean mouthfeel in the end. So for me, this is a thumbs up for this wine with a spicy and dry finish. Corte Majoli is a winery located on the... Why do I always struggle with the east and the west, right? Like, and the east and the west and the east. On the western side of the appellation of the Pinot Grigio delle Venezie in the Verona area. This is an organic farm, like totally organic farm, around the 20, more towards like the 30 hectares, more or less. And so it's like in Italian standards, like it's a medium-sized estate. And let's go check it out together. 2018 Pinot Grigio. 2018 Pinot Grigio, so an extra year from what you will find commonly right now in the supermarket, which is 2019. Let's see what the wine's like. Do you know what this wine, like the moment I put the nose into it, there was something I was looking for, and it reminded me of a like walk in during the fall. You know, usually we think Pinot Grigio and we think summer, but here I wanted to think more like of a lake situation, right? Like, by the way, we are in Verona, so Lake Garda is not too far away. Do you know what I'm saying when the lake releases that kind of like minerality, muddy minerality? That's what it is. New muddy minerality. Looking by the color that you might be able to see here on camera is a little bit darker, that extra year of age. On the palate, the wine is releasing, you can tell still that there is that kind of like underbrush situation going on, nuttiness, walnut, so it's more played on these kind of aromatics than on the tropicalness. Of course, there is some acidity, there is the citrus fruit kind of acidity. Let me give it a shot, another round. What I got here is some apple, pears, but this bitter finish is something that you gotta remember about this wine. It's more of a food Pinot, so in other words, this slightly bitterness that a lot of people love is inviting for matching with some sweeter, not as sugar sweet, but as in we mention very often, like beans or some fish that's got a little bit of fatness, some you know what, some pizza with you know what, no, pizza's good. Am I hungry? Pizza's good. Pizza with some scamorza cheese on top. I would love to try that with this one. Terio Le Uve by Luciano Pavan. Dun, 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 dun. Sounds like the name of a movie. It's a winery. It's like within the 20 hectares, so it's a pretty like family run, I would say. We are in Treviso. This winery is nearby the Piave River. By the way, once again, you know, like I know by now you know everything about Pinot Grigio, but water is one of that DNA bits of the DNA of Pinot Grigio. In this case, this river is one of the biggest, longest rivers in Italy. It's the 5th longest river in Italy. It starts from the 2,000 meters above the sea level, from the Alps all the way down for 200 and something kilometers. Where does it gonna end? Where does it gonna end? Of course, in Venice. One of the things about this winery that reminds me of just to take you there, in the terroir, in the place, is this underground water fountains. I don't know, like it's called risorgive. It's quite typical that you can find across from the Lake Garda all the way down going towards Venice. You can come across this, it's like basically seeing these like little lakes or streams where you see the water bubbling up, okay, from the clay soil that is retained these underground rivers. It's actually quite beautiful to see because these are like super clear waters. But, you know, as good as it is to talk about water, let's talk wine. So on the palate, the wine comes back with that idea of the ripe pears. It's like a ripe pears popsicle and a vanilla presence there. A little bit of sweetness, maybe residual sugar is there. You know what I'm saying? And then the citrus element is counterbalancing this sweet act in the wine. I was almost forgetting. Talking about the Consorzio delle Venezie, the DOC delle Venezie appellation. Well, first of all, you get to know that the world of Pinot Grigio, the vineyards of Pinot Grigio in the planet, are basically 50% almost in Italy. And guess what? 85% of it are in Delle Venezie appellation. How many winemakers produce Pinot Grigio in this area? There is 324 of them, and 39 are copes. So within the copes, there is even more winemaker. So in other words, there's hundreds of winemakers that produce this beautiful white wine of Italy. By the way, the most recognized Italian variety. In the past, this wine used to be pretty like dilute, and in the 90s was like a very small percentage of vines was Pinot Grigio. Roughly was 3,000 hectares. Today is 26,000 hectares of Pinot Grigio. And right now, this Pinot Grigio is way more fruit-driven, way more complexity, above all, way more length. In the past, it was kind of dilute and neutral. Right now, there is spices, there is minerality, and way more complexity. Basically, this appellation has brought a brand new revolution. As of 2017, this is how young the Consorzio is. By the way, the largest Consorzio in Italy, across 3 regions, Trentino, Veneto, and Friuli. Boom! Where is the revolution? Revolution is the fact that there is vineyards, new vineyard management, young entrepreneurs, young vigneron. They're all there making sure that the world can drink the delicious Pinot Grigio delle Venezie. Are you wondering what to pair with your Pinot Grigio? Well, there's plenty ways to go. First of all, Pinot Grigio with its spiciness, natural spiciness, is perfect with an aperitivo moment. That's, I think, the best you can do. So like little nibbles of course, like fried fish, sushi, guacamole and chips. I mean, that kind of stuff. I think there is no better variety, no better wine than Pinot Grigio delle Venezie to go for. Do you want to have pasta with Pinot Grigio? Of course you should have pasta. It's an Italian product at the end of the day. So, pasta. Well, with pasta, I would be quite cautious with I would go with some light sauces. You know, like you want to go like light fish sauce, or you can go like some pasta with veggies, beautiful risotto that you can have it with, you know, like beautiful risotto, like because of the cheese, the fatness of the cheese, the acidity of Pinot Grigio is gonna cut through it and make it as a perfect food companion. I would refrain from heavy ragu sauces or risotto with, I don't know, like bone marrow risotto. That could be a little bit too much. You need something with heavier body. Main course? Well, main course you can work with, you know, like white meat, chicken, of course fish, but not fish that you're gonna cook for too long. You want something that is like lightly like steamed or baked, and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, dash of lemon, salt, boom, off you go. Pinot Grigio is basically the ultimate Italian white wine. And what is the Italian kitchen about? Simplicity. 1, 2, maybe 3 ingredients, and off you go.